Jaya Radha Madhva Kunja Bihari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari
Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Tira Vanachari
Jamuna Tira Vanachari
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
His divine grace, Bhakti Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki
Jai.
Glory to the assembled devotees.
Jai.
Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatyam vyasam tato jayam udirayat. Before studying Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should first offer obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, unto Mother Saraswati, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nastu prayeshtu bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and rendering service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service to the personality of Godhead, who is praised in transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Pasyantyado Rupam Adabra Chakshusha Sahasrapadaru Ujanandan Bhutam Sahasramurda Shravanashki Naishkam Sahasramolyambur Kundalolasad. Shanti Yadorupam Adarbhadra Chakshusha
Pashyantyadorupam Adobhra Chakshusha
Sahasrapadaru Ujananad Bhutam
Sahasrapaduru Ujananadbhutam
Sahasramurda Shravanaishki Naishkam
Sahasramurdha Shravanaishki Naishikam
Sahasramolyamba Kundalolasat
Sahasramundyambara Kundalolasat
Pasyantyado Rupamad Dabra Chakshusha
Pashyantyadorupam Adabhra Chakshusha
Sahasrapadru Ujananad Bhutam
Sahasrapaduru Ujanabhutam
Sahasramurda Shravanaishki Naishkam
Sahasramurdha Shravanashki Nasikam
Sahasramolyambara Kundalalasat
Sahasramolyambara Kundalolasat Pashyantyadorupam Adabhra Chakshusha
Prashantyadorupam Abhadrubdung Shaksha
Sahasrapaduru Ujananadbhutam
Sahasrapaduru Bhujananubhutam
Sahasramurdha Shravanashki Nasikam
Sahasramurdha Shravanashki Naishkam
Sahasramolyambara Kundalolasat
Sahasramola Ambara Kundalolasat Pusyantyadorupamadabar Chakshusha Sahasrapadaru Bhujanandabhutam Sahasramurdha Shravanashki Naishkam Sahasramolyambara Kundalolasat Prasyantyadorupam Abdabra Chakshusha Sahasrapadura Bhujananadbhutam
Sahasramurkha Shravanakshidasikam
Sahasramurkha Shravanakshidasikam
Sahasramolyambara Kundalolasat
Sahasramolyambara Kundalolasat Pasyanti Si Ada in the form of the Purusha, Rupam, form, Adabra, perfect, Chakshusha, by the eyes, Sahasrapad, thousands of legs, Uru, thighs, Bhuja Anana, hands and faces, Adbhutam, wonderful, Sahasra, thousands of, Murdha, heads, Shravana, ears, Akshi, eyes, Naisikam, nose, Sahasra, thousands, Mauli, garlands, Ambara, dresses, Kundala, earrings, Ulasat, all glowing. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada. The devotees with their perfect eyes see the transcendental form of the Purusha, who has thousands of legs, thighs, arms, and faces, all extraordinary. In that body there are thousands of heads, ears, eyes, and noses. They are decorated with thousands of helmets and glowing earrings and are adorned with garlands. Purport. With our present materialized senses, we cannot perceive anything of the Transcendental Lord. Our present senses are to be rectified by the process of devotional service, and then the Lord Himself becomes revealed to us. In Bhagavad Gita it is confirmed that the Transcendental Lord can be perceived only by pure devotional service. So it is confirmed in the Vedas that only devotional service can lead one to the side of the Lord, and that only devotional service can reveal Him. In the Brahma Samhita also it is said that the Lord is always visible to the devotees whose eyes have been anointed with the tinge of devotional service. So we have to take information of the transcendental form of the Lord from persons who have actually seen Him with perfect eyes smeared with devotional service. In this material world, also we do not always see things with our own eyes. Sometimes we see the experience of others who have actually seen or done things. If that's a process for experiencing a mundane object, is it more perfectly applicable in matters transcendental? So only with patience and perseverance can we realize the transcendental subject matter regarding the absolute truth in His different forms. He is formless to the neophytes, but He is in transcendental form to the expert servitor. Is Krishna Prasad down there?
Yeah.
Okay. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumlitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Shtapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Turbhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Kroti Vachalam Bhagum Langayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurum Diratarinam. So today we're reading from the verse, chapter 3, text 4 in the first canto. The devotees with their perfect eyes see the transcendental form of that Purusha who has thousands of legs, thighs, arms, and faces, all extraordinary. In that body there are thousands of heads, eyes, ears, and noses. They are decorated with thousands of helmets and glowing earrings and are adorned with garlands. So we have to have eyes to see the Lord, and that's devotional service will give us those eyes. Thank you very much. Any questions? No. Okay. So Prabhupada gives us in the beginning of this purport, he gives us kind of like the Purva Paksha in like Sanskrit learning and Vedic education. The way that you teach someone is that you teach them a subject by first giving them doubts about that subject, and then by reconciling those doubts through various different methods. And so Prabhupada is saying, with our present materialized senses, we cannot perceive anything of the transcendental Lord. So, we all remember from the 10th canto when Mother Yashoda's, there's a famous picture, she's looking in Krishna's mouth. She thought Krishna ate some dirt. So Krishna's like, fine, look at my mouth, see if you can find dirt. So she looks in his mouth, and then she sees the whole universe, and then like it zooms in, she sees herself looking in his mouth, and it's like everything's within Krishna, yet Krishna is separate from it. Krishna is expanded into every atom. Andantarasta paramano chayantarastam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govinda's, Krishna, Govinda, he's in every single atom, and everything around us is just composed up of different atoms. He's also, what to speak of in between, is what to speak of in each atom, he's also in between each atom. He's inconceivably everywhere. He's in our heart. Sarvasya Chaham Hridi Sani Vishto. And so, yeah, he's inside your heart, my heart, everyone in here. Bahir Narshimo, Hirdaye Narshimo. He's outside, he's also within. And so, he's everywhere and everything is just composed of his energy, and he's within all of that energy. So why doesn't everyone experience the Lord? He's the closest thing to us. Why can't we experience that? Though that's the doubt. And it's, a similar question, a lot of the times atheists will pose this question to devotees, and many times, a nice answer, one time, I think it was Dr. O.B.L. Kapoor, he was like a scholar in the academia. They're asking, why do you believe in this God? Like, show me God. Let me see God. That's what they always want to say. Let me see God. I want to see God. I mean, they don't actually want to see God. If they actually wanted to see God, they would be on our side. But anyways, they say, I want to see God. They're actually atheistic. They actually want that God doesn't exist so that they can keep enjoying and have that excuse. And so Krishna reciprocates with their inner feeling because he actually understands what they want. But trying to answer their question at face, I want to see God, show me God. So, okay, you just face back to them. All right, you're a scientist, show me the neutrons, show me electrons, show me how when fire goes that the thing combusts and the oxygen gets changed into a different gas. Show me that. Show me the mechanics of the atom bomb. I can't see that. But they show you because it still works. And so similarly, they'll say, well, to show you that, to have you actually be able to perceive that, to perceive quantum mechanics, to perceive string theory and all these things, you have to go to school for 4 years to get your bachelor's degree, for another 2 years to get your master's degree, for another 4 to 8 years to get your PhD. Then you're actually able to see within their darshana, or their way of seeing things, which is, it's full of faults. But if you go through that training, then you can at least see how they see. So it's reasonable to say that, okay, well, this is also, just like those are sciences that take a long time and you have to have qualification to be able to actually perceive the thing in question that's now you're not perceiving. So we can also perceive Krishna, and there's those who have seen Krishna. We have to take information of transcendental formula from persons who have actually seen him. So similarly, but there's a science, and it requires a qualification, and it requires many years and maybe even many lifetimes of actual training and adjustments in our attitude and in our perception. Our learning in school, the slaughterhouse education, it's there to adjust our perception in a certain way that's been designed by the impious leaders of this unfortunate civilization. And so they teach you a way to see things beyond just what you're seeing with your eyes, but it's just completely materialistic. And so the difference between this materialistic conventional science and the science of self-realization is that our consciousness is directly involved with this experiment. In the conventional science, even though they're actually now people are saying that your consciousness is also involved in that, they're beginning to realize that even in just trying to perceive dull matter, because we're engaging with it and our consciousness affects dull matter, then it becomes necessary to actually have your consciousness controlled. What to speak of the other faults, like not being able to perfectly convey the information or cheating. That's a big problem in modern science, is that the scientists, because they're motivated by money and they know they can get away with it, they just lie and they just write a paper with fake data or fake whatever. They can like one of the first things I learned, I majored in statistics, is that it's very easy to fudge the statistics. With whatever data that you get, you can manipulate it in different ways to make it seem like it's true or not. And like one thing, like they showed a graph, and they're like, it's like one, like it looks like a very small bar, another one looks like a huge bar. Like, look it, this is the wealth of this person compared to the wealth of that person. There's such a big difference. But then actually they fudged the statistic. It was the bar that was on was not set at 0. It was actually, they were both exactly even practically. One was just a tiny hair bigger, but they just zoomed it up to the very top, so you only saw the very tip top, so it looked like there was a huge difference. And so similarly, if someone's going to be cheating, there's so many ways they can cheat. And even if they aren't cheating, it's actually hard to passively interpret something like that. So what to speak of in that science, if there's subtle things? In the science of self-realization, we have to completely control our consciousness. And so, ultimately, if there is an unlimited being, if there is God, if Krishna is there, then how can he be known to us? We're limited by our imperfect senses and different things like that. That's the real doubt. So the answer is that, well, if the unlimited is factually unlimited, then it can reveal itself to the limited. But that means there's actually no option of the limited climbing the ladder up to reach to the unlimited. The unlimited has to reach down and reveal itself. That's why the knowledge, there's the ascending and the descending knowledge. The ascending knowledge, it can give us some knowledge in some very small parameters of what we need to do, but it can't really give us absolute knowledge. It can't give us pure knowledge. Modern science can't really give us 100% answer. Any statistic is always has some built in with it, some uncertainty. You can't be certain with it. I mean, you can be. They're certain enough that they can make the iPhone in the MacBook, and they can heat our house and all these different things, but it can never be completely 100% certain. Whereas actually, deductive knowledge, like if it's certain from the beginning and you use deductive logic, it can be certain at the end. So if the unlimited is factually unlimited, then it can reveal itself. So the question is now, as the scientist said, the atheist, can you show me God? Show me God. So, okay, well then you have to know the process. That how does limited get the unlimited to reveal himself to the limited, and the limited has to favor the limited. The unlimited has to favor the limited to be able to reveal itself. And so in the Bhagavad Gita, I was searching, and like almost every chapter, Krishna says this idea. Like if you just search devotion, or know me by devotion, it's in like many different chapters, and so I just have two right here. One's in the 11th and one's in the 15th. Bhakti tva ananya sakya aham evam vidarjuna gyantum jashtum chatatvena praveshtum cha parantapa. That's like 1154, and it's after Krishna he's showed Arjuna. He gave him first. The unlimited descended to the limited by giving him eyes to see this wonderful Virat Rupa, this amazing. What's it called in the 11th chapter? The universal form. Yeah, it's called Virat Rupa. That's the transcript. Okay, Virat Rupa, the unlimited universal form, which is also being talked about in this shloka a little bit. The form of the Purusha he has thousands of legs, thighs, arms, and faces. And Arjuna is saying, I see everything in here, all the planets, all the demigods, all the different things, all the way down from the bottom, all the way to the top to Brahmaloka, everything I see. And then Krishna, then after that, he reveals to him something even more, his two-handed form, which is even more rare than seeing all of that. And so, and he says to you, my dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and thus can be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding. So there, Krishna is giving the direct, sutra or tiny little, idea that can be unlimitedly expanded. By devotional service, then you can understand Krishna. You can enter into the mystery of his understanding. Krishna is unlimited. Actually, no one can fully understand Krishna because he's unlimited. And even Krishna in his different forms of Ananta and different people are trying to explain about Krishna and glorify him. And they can't reach the end of that glorification. Try to make a list of all his qualities and all the things that he's done and all the wonderful things about him. And by the time you get to the end of it, there's already, you've spent an unlimited time doing that, and there's already another unlimited piece of paper that you have to continue writing points. It just increasing and increasing. Even by the time you write the first point, there's already unlimited more qualities. And so that in that way, no one can fully understand him. But like the sky is completely, practically speaking, in our mundane sense, it's the closest thing we can have to like an unlimited sense, just the unlimited expanding sky. So a bird can fly in that sky and experience the unlimited vastness of the sky to a certain degree. So similarly, devotees, by their devotional service, they can experience the wonderful qualities of Krishna due to their devotional service. Another one, famous in chapter 1855, Bhaktya mam abhijananti yavan yash chasmi tatvataha tato mam tatvo jnatva vishate tad anantaram. So only one can understand me as I am, as a Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. And one is in full consciousness of me by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. And so, we want to understand Krishna like this. We don't necessarily even want to understand Krishna like Arjuna saw him in the universal form. We want to understand him in his two-armed form, in his, as is described in the Brahma Samhita, Chintamani Prakara Sadmashu Kalpavriksha. We don't understand him in Chintamani Dham, Govinda in Vrindavan with Radharani. That's ultimately what we want to understand. Which that is, out of the birds flying in the sky, that's like the highest place that a bird can fly in terms of the analogy. So we have to take, Prabhupada says in the purport here, we have to take information of the transcendental form of the Lord from persons who have actually seen him with perfect eyes smeared with devotional service. Premanjana charita bhakti vilochanena santa sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti yasham asundam achinta guna sarupam govindam adi purusham. He's a chinta guna sarupam. His guna, his qualities is a chinta, it's just amazing, just inconceivably just wonderful. Wonderful. And so is Prabhupada saying we have to take information. So all right, so this is okay. So the sign, show me God. Then some neophyte devotee doesn't quite. All right, yeah. Just you can just here's a picture. Look, that's Krishna, or and you can do that. But he doesn't actually see God. It's he's in your heart. You don't see. Like, Prahlad Maharaj could say that, yeah, he's everywhere, Dad. He's in this pillar. He's there. He's in your heart. He's giving you power. It's everywhere. I don't see him. Is he really in that pillar? And then he really saw him. Due to the mercy of Prahlad, really getting ripped apart was the mercy. And so similarly, the atheists will see him as cruel death at the time of their death. But we want them to become bhaktas. We don't want them to just they need to go through the whole process. So to take information, it's not just a very simple thing. It's not even just reading books. There's so many PhDs and scholars, especially probably in India, they know the whole Bhagavatam. They know the CC. They know the Sandarbhas. They studied all this stuff. But if they don't have devotional service, if it's just gone, if it's just dry knowledge, reading books and book learning, you can't understand Krishna by just book learning. The Shyamasundam form of Krishna is inconceivable, simultaneous personal and impersonal self-contradictory form. True devotees see that form in their purified hearts under the influence of devotional trance. The form Shyam is not the blue color visible in the mundane world. So if you just tell him the color of Krishna, look, it's like in this picture. He's like blue like a cloud, that's full of rain, like you wouldn't, it's like in the sky, like it's blue. But that doesn't, if someone doesn't do devotional service, that won't evoke in them actually the image of Krishna. Their mind won't be able to go to Krishna. They're never going to be anywhere. It's just going to be like Prabhupada said in the purport. With our present materialized senses, we can't perceive anything of the Transcendental Lord. So the color of Shyam, the blue of Krishna's color, is not some mundane color that we've perceived before. It's not some hex code that we can say, oh, this is the color of Krishna and the other ones aren't. Krishna's color, Shyam, this is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada's purport in the Brahma Samhita of that verse that we just said, the Premanjana Charita. It's a transcendental variegated color affording eternal bliss. And it's not visible to the mortal eye. So the color of Krishna's skin is a color that when you see that color, you get eternal bliss from that. Which means, think about something mundane. Okay, so Sasha's shirt is what is that? I'm kind of colorblind. Is that blue or purple or what is that? Gray? It's blue. Grayish blue. Okay, alright, good. Alright, we're in agreement. So it's blue. So it's we look at the blue or Mahotsa's, orange dhoti. It's alright, it's like a creamsicle, oh, that's nice. And then Ryan's is a little darker, it's the darker hat. Or Chanchal's green thing. As a color, it's it can bring you a little satisfaction, oh, okay, nice. That's a nice color. But anything in the material world, we try to eat the sandwich, or we embrace the hot iron, and it can give us, but it can't give us unlimited pleasure. There's only a tiny bit of pleasure. Yeah, on a side note, this is one thing I've been thinking. It's people say oh wow, she's so hot. But they're referring to they were actually recently in hell and had to do that, and that's what they remember. And then it's just slowly. It's
that's a beautiful.
Krishna's just making them, and maybe they don't know that, but Krishna's saying that through them. The karma is these stupid things.
Krishna's speaking to you.
Yeah, she will be.
Really hot.
So these things can only give us temporary satisfaction, temporary bliss. Our senses, the mundane mortal senses, can't even have eternal bliss. They can't even have bliss for that long. How many donuts can you eat? How many you can eat a big plate of rice, but that's about it. After you eat one plate, maybe two, then you're done for a while. Your senses are overloaded. So that's how much of a plate of rice? It takes you maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes to eat. Mahotsa 30, 40 minutes. So that's all you get. But Krishna, any part of him that you experience, your spiritual form has unlimited capacity to experience that for an unlimited time. And not only that, but it's always getting better. It always gets better. Krishna's, the color of his skin, you look at it and you say, that's the most beautiful color I've ever seen. You turn away and you look at something else, and then you curse yourself for not looking at Krishna because he's there, and then you see him again, and it's even more somehow amazing. And that's what eternal bliss means. Because you know, all these mundane relationships, they get fried out with each other and then they get a divorce. Or they don't even get married in the first place and they break up. Or they don't even break up and then it's just like this weird thing where it's like an open relationship and like I'm going to go with other people and you're going to go with other people, but then we're somehow, it's just everything's degrading and breaking down, and they don't get any kind of, you know, things get dull and overused. And so Prabhupada says in the purport, we had to take information of the transcendental form of the Lord from persons who have actually seen Him with perfect eyes. So you give them the book, and you have to also give them devotional service. Ultimately, you don't even, you know, by giving the book, actually it's a kind of a cheat code, because by taking the book, they're also doing devotional service. But you have, you know, the more they're engaged in devotional service, the more that they'll actually be able to like do the devotional service of reading the book and understanding it. You know, Prabhupada's saying, you know, we have to get this information from people who've actually seen them. And actually in the material world, we don't always see things with our own eyes. We sometimes see through the experience of those who've actually seen or done those things. That's actually true in the slaughterhouse education. Most if not all the things you do, you don't do the experiment. You don't have the experience. You haven't done it. You're just, this person looked at the sky for like a really long time and noted that the stars were in this position. Therefore, he concluded that, you know, this was the certain arrangement of the cosmic corner of this gigantic, vast, meaningless universe. That because he saw, he did that experiment and did it. He never did it. They just tell you and you say, okay, I accept his experience because he's an authority, or something else in some other field. Like they dissected all these fetuses and found that these were the different forms, and that at this stage the fetuses all look similar. Therefore, they speculate that maybe we all came from an amoeba, and then that came from a different thing, and then it, based on that, it's like, all right, I guess I accept your speculation and your experience based on that, and that's the teaching. So if we can accept that, then we should be able to expect the experience of, we should accept, if we're accepting 95% of the things that we learn through someone else's experience, not that we actually did it or had realization of it, then it's reasonable to be able to get information about transcendental subject matters which no one with material eyes can experience through someone who has transcendental vision and can experience it. I mean, it's only natural, and it's perfectly fair. It's not illogical. And Prabhupada says it is more perfectly applicable in matters transcendental, because I can go and I can lick the gulab jamun. I can feel the squishiness with my hand. I can taste the sweetness in the different spices that the person used and how they fried it. And I can smell the rose water that they put in the water. So now, an image of a gulab jamun, you guys all had gulab jamuns, but just by actually all those things, the gulab jamun is not even here, but we're having an experience of it, at least certain aspects of it. Of course, like Prabhupada said, you don't only know pudding, the best way to really know it is by eating it. Don't just lick the outside of the honey jar, but by just speculating about it. Honey, it's golden colored, but it's not golden, it's like clear. You can see through it, translucent. It's very sweet, but sometimes it has a kind of hot taste. And when you put it on, it's very gooey. But just eat honey, and then you know exactly what honey is. Put it all over Chanchal's bread, and then he'll, if you put more honey on it, then he'll be able to digest it better, and he won't be tired for the Bhagavatam class. And so similarly, we have to hear from these people. So Vyasadeva, we're hearing from the Bhagavatam. This whole thing, this is Vyasadeva. So Vyasadeva thus fixed his mind, perfectly engaging it by linking it in devotional service without any tinge of materialism, and thus he saw the absolute personality of Godhead along with his external energy, which was under full control. One time, Bhaktisiddhanta, someone says, "I see Krishna. I've seen Krishna when I chant japa or something. I go, I see." He's like, "Well, do you also see Maya?" "No, I'm not looking at Maya. I don't see Maya." "Then you didn't see Krishna. If you're really perceiving Krishna, you're perceiving all the Upanishad. You're once perceiving like, the I don't remember the actual wording, but good thing I have the Upanishad right here. Those who engage in the culture of Nesha activities shall engage in the darkest region. One who can learn the process of Nesha and that of transcendental knowledge side by side can transcend the influence of repeated birth and death and enjoy the full blessings of immortality. So we have to understand what Krishna is and what Krishna isn't. We have to understand his external energy, Maya, and how she deludes us and how that's actually illusion, and being anything perceiving separate from Krishna is illusion. We have to understand how wonderful is Krishna and how to perform devotional service to him and be enthusiastic to do that. Perfect vision of the absolute truth is possible only by the linking process of devotional service. So, Krishna will reveal himself to the one who's actually performing devotional service. So, but we have to make sure that it's, the verse here. This is 174, talking about Vyasadeva, how he linked his mind in devotional service without any tinge of materialism. And so, this is like the quality of bhakti. So we've gotten to the show me God. All right, here's this book. Perform devotional service. But you have to perform devotional service, and then what's the definition? I think everyone knows this. I don't know it so well. I'm going to get to it. Right? That's one. Anya, that one. I didn't. Anya Abhishat Shunam Jnana Karma Navritam Anukulyena Krishnanu Shilam Bhaktir Uttama. One should render transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord favorably and without desire for material profit or gain through fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. That is called pure devotional service. So you tell them, all right, take this book, give me a donation. Engage. By doing that, you're tricking them into devotional service. But more than tricking, you should make them conscious. To perform devotional service, if they're actually honest, then they'll keep asking you questions and you can keep telling them. Perform devotional service, render it favorably to Krishna. Not like King Kamsa, you dumb atheist. Kamsa, Kamsa was always thinking about Krishna, but he was thinking of it unfavorably, how he could kill Krishna, how he could not be killed by Krishna. Whereas the devotee is saying, kill me or don't kill me, I always want to engage in your service. I'm just your completely surrendered servant. So we have to be completely surrendered to Krishna without any karma, tinge of material profit or gain, and any jnana, without just like mundane book learning or trying to merge into the impersonal absolute, or thinking that Krishna is somehow also Maya, even though Maya is Krishna's energy, and that Krishna is the source of everything, and somehow everything is one. But then it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. So we can't get fooled by that, because actually Lord Shiva, he made something that doesn't make any sense make sense, and that was the service that he was engaged in. And so it can confuse anyone, and so we should be careful not to fall into that trap. And then all we see is Maya, and Maya says, "Oh, you've engaged in so much, service and so nice. So now I'm ready to engage in your service." That's the last trap of Maya. And so we don't want to get caught by the last trap of Maya. We want to get caught by Yoga Maya, and we want to be fully engaged in our transcendental spiritual body, which can unlimitedly perceive Krishna's wonderful qualities, and also perfectly actually give him transcendental bliss. The perfection of everything is giving Krishna bliss. That's the meaning of everything. That's the meaning of our life. So this book knowledge is useless. Ata Shri Krishna Namadi Nabaved Grayam Indrayai Sevamukihi Jivado Swayam Eva Spuratya Da. If we want a sporty of Krishna, a flicker in our heart of the actual Krishna's actual form, of Krishna actually coming, and he's in the heart already, but he removes the curtain. If we want the curtain to be removed of Maya, and that separation that we're perceiving now, Krishna's everywhere. He's in every atom. Everything we're doing is directly in contact with him, but we don't perceive that. So we want that perception. Then what do we have to do? We have to have sevan mukhe. We have to be faced toward. We have the devotional attitude, the service attitude No one can understand the transcendental nature, form, quality, and pastimes of Sri Krishna through the material contaminated senses. So even if the atheist, by reading the book, he'll get purified. But in the first one, when we're reading, the first time I read the Bhagavad Gita, the only things I remember are you're not your body, and any time the Prabhupada would mention like the regular principle of not having illicit sex. That's like all I remember. Like, you can't have illicit sex? And I was like, what is illicit sex? Like, he said illicit sex. He didn't just say you can't have. It's like, that's why it's like materially contaminated senses. You're just thinking about, what the sense. So you can't really understand Krishna. Anytime you would read about Krishna's like transcendental instructions, or like in the 11th chapter about his form, it's like kind of like, all right, whatever. Nothing is understood there. But when one becomes spiritually saturated by transcendental service to the Lord, then the transcendental name, form, quality, and pastimes are revealed to him. So the Lord is unlimited, and our senses are very limited. But by seeing with the eyes of the soul, our spiritual eye, then we can really see. So the proper way to uncover that and get that curtain moved and to actually have that vision is to engage in devotional service, beginning with hearing. We put our iron rod into the fire, and it becomes like hot fire. Sarvapadi vinir muktam tat parat vena nirmalam hrishikena sevanam bhaktir uchate. So we gauge the senses of our senses in the service of the master of the senses. And by doing that, then he can make our senses become transcendental and impervious to any kind of illusion. And so then when we're free of all these material designations, then we can engage in the service of the Lord, without tinges of jnana or karma. So after this atheist, person, they've got a book, they understand devotional service, they understand to do service. We don't actually read the book. You can read the book. The PhDs read the book. They don't. Every line they're reading, they're not getting anything out of it. Whereas if you're actually engaged in devotional service, you don't even know reading, and still you get more out of it than those PhDs. Like Lord Chaitanya said, you are the PhD of the Bhagavad Gita because you have fully understood. You don't even know how to read it, but you're crying because you actually understood how to do devotional service. He just followed the instructions of his spiritual master. So the spiritual master, that's who we hear from. We're hearing from Vyasadeva, but we're actually hearing it through our spiritual master. Prabhupada is everyone's spiritual master, their Shiksha Guru. So we're hearing it from the spiritual master. To know the quality of the spiritual master is that we have a doubt about this science of self-realization, about this process, and when that doubt is revealed to the spiritual master, they use the Shastra, they use the weapon of Shastra to cut down that doubt. So if we present humbly a doubt to the spiritual master, and they can cut that doubt by using their knowledge of Shastra, not by their speculation. If they're using speculation, then it's just their own thing, and they're not a spiritual master. They're that anything with mental speculation can be tinged by the 4 different defects. So you can be cheated if you're doing that, but you can't be cheated if they're using Shastra and they dispel your doubt. And so when the spiritual master dispels our doubt, that's how we know that they're a bona fide spiritual master. So atheist, here's the book. Krishna is God. You can see him. You have to hear about him. From the bona fide spiritual master, you have to perform devotional service and purify your senses. Put your senses in the fire of devotional service, and then they'll become devotional service. Then, after they're a little more pure, then you say, okay, come. Now, you want to see Krishna, I can show you. Let's go to Radha Govinda. If they really want to see God, then they can go and they can see God. After they've been a little bit purified, otherwise they're just going to do eye exercises. And we should all remember, where is it? Prabhupada said, what use is my eye exercise to go see Sheshai Vishnu? Let me stay in here for my spiritual master. And he stood all these wonderful things. And, oh man, I really wish I had this up. I had it copied and pasted. I think I deleted it. It's, he felt like Satsvarup Maharaj is writing in the Leelamrita. Prabhupada felt like the spiritual world in devotional service to Radha and Krishna was being fully revealed just by, okay, here it is. So I met them in Koshi, and Keshav Maharaj was informing him that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta is going to Mathura tomorrow, and he'll speak Harikatha this evening. Anyone who wants to may remain. Otherwise, they can go to the Parikram party to go see Sheshai Vishnu. So at that time, I think only 10 or 12 remained. Sridhar Maharaj was one of them, and I thought it wise. What can I see at this Sheshai? Let me hear what Bhaktisiddhanta will speak. Let me hear. So when he arrived, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur was already speaking. So at last, Abai was in his presence. Abai marveled to see and hear him, this unique soul possessed of Krishna Katha, speaking uninterruptedly about Krishna in his deep, low voice, in ecstasy and deep knowledge. Abai sat and heard with rapt attention. When the Mahapurush, when the Uttama Bhakta gives Bhagavatam class, it becomes an event, because their sound vibration is much more powerful than normal sound vibration. It can give you much more than mundane knowledge. It can actually remove that cover of Maya and put you closer to that experience of Krishna. That's why it becomes an event. And the experience of Krishna is the thing that everyone's looking for. And so Prabhupada said, 1 hour went by, 2 hours. Prabhupada was listening with wonder. He felt Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was revealing to him the direct vision of the spiritual world, just as a person reveals something by opening a door or pushing aside a curtain. He was revealing the reality, and this reality was loving service to the lotus feet of Radha Krishna, the supremely worshipful personality of Godhead. So, the real thing, to see Krishna, it's sevanmukhi, it's seeing them thinking, I need to serve them. So, one thing that the atheist, when they walk into the temple, they see Radha Gauranga, that's made of like stone or whatever, and it's said anyone who sees the deity as a stone is like really stupid, something like that. So we shouldn't think that the deity form, which can be seemingly made from stone or picture or wood or so on, is there for the satisfaction of our eyes. That's devotional service mixed with material gain. I want to see the Lord because it's a nice, beautiful thing to look at. I want to see the Lord, because I'm the one who dressed the Lord, and I want everyone to like recognize me for how beautiful I dressed the Lord and put on these ornaments, or whatever different reason. But that's not, that's better than not going to see the Lord. But really, we want to see the Lord to think, I need to be able to do service, and we're there to present ourselves as servitors of the Lord. And we should look at the deities hoping that they may give us a merciful glance back at us, and that they can see us, that they want to see what's in our heart. Bhakti says, don't try to see the Lord. That's ultimately what the atheist needs to hear. You shouldn't try to see the Lord. You should act in such a way that the Lord won't want to see you. And that's the ultimate way to see the Lord. Then you're actually seeing Radha Govinda. When Ramanujacharya showed the lusty man who, the beautiful eyes of this woman, I can't, there's a funny video, he's like holding the fan, or holding the umbrella and charmer fan. He's walking backwards as like a palanquin carrier for this lady or whatever, as like her servitor, just so he could always like stare into her eyes, like so ridiculous, like a dog on the leash, like everyone here is like that more or less. It's less actually, that's like a high sentiment that like that everyone here is much more cats and dogs degraded, like they don't have really that kind of, that's more like mode of goodness enjoyment, mode of passion and mode of ignorance enjoyment. The hog in the stool, he's also enjoying, but he's enjoying in stool and with all the gross other pigs, But anyways, we're not there to see Krishna to enjoy like that. But Ramanuja said, come with me and take darshan of the deity. Now with the spiritual master there, the presence of then seeing the deity can become an actual event. Then our devotional service becomes the actual thing that we want. Then he saw it, and he had actual darshan of what was the deity name? Ranganath. He had actual darshan, and so he saw the real eyes of Krishna. Like if you see the color sham, you're gonna get eternal bliss from that. So he saw the beautiful eyes. He got eternal bliss from that, and he saw how like just the gross bodily pus, bile, stool, urine, blood, scabs and hair and all this gross stuff, and that's actually not beautiful. It's just actually the curtain of Maya doesn't let you see Krishna's beauty and makes you think all these disgusting stool bags are actual beauty. So when the spiritual master is there also, then that doesn't become, it becomes an event when the model walks in on the runway or something like that for the materialist, for the karmis. That's like their, oh wow, and it becomes an event for them so much that in all the marketing and all the different things, every billboard you see now, it's like it's somehow related to sex, to the sexual. It's like drink this milk, buy this car. It's like it has nothing to do with the woman whatsoever, but it makes you. It just like puts that connection. Like this is related to actually what you want, and then they want that so bad that they want to engage everything in to try to do that. And so the opposite is in bhakti. We should think that everything is related for Krishna, how to get his service. And even if it's not, we should try to engage it and do that. And so we're not looking at the deities for just to do eye exercises. We're there to do service. And so that's my class. You tell the atheist, don't try to see Krishna. You try to act in such a way that Krishna will see you, and that's the science. And their perception is going to have to be changed. They have to realize that they're small, and Krishna is actually the big one. He's the big fish. They're the small fish, and the small fish has to do how the big fish wants. The big fish can reveal the whole ocean of transcendental love, loving service, and that's the way to live. If you're not living in that mood, then it sucks. Then life is terrible, and you might as well, there's no point to live. Any questions? Any comments?
That's a nice line to finish it off.
Well, so you want to say one sentence?
How wonderful is Krishna?
How wonderful is he? Answer the question. It's not just a rhetorical.
Krishna is full of unlimited divine qualities, and simply by chanting the holy names, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
We can realize Amala Harinama Amya Vilasana. Then the beautiful names of Krishna, you can actually experience the unlimited pastimes and mellows of his beauty.
Yeah, we should remember Sevan Mukhe, and then Krishna can appear on his holy name.
Yeah, I have a question. So, Prabhu, you said we should not look at the deity to do eye exercise, but sometimes it's devotees recommend meditate on some form, when we chant japa or something, have it in front of us. So I noticed some devotees sometimes they look at the pictures of the deities. So what should be our proper?
It's all about Sevan Mukhe. It's all about Sevan Mukhe. It's not. The point is mostly that I'm not doing this for my enjoyment. Enjoying to see the deities is ultimately a good thing, but it's not the purest good thing. There's good, there's more good, and there's most good. And so, if you're looking at Krishna, the gopis are looking at Krishna, and they're enjoying looking at Krishna, but they're looking at Krishna for his enjoyment. They're the examples of someone that's doing everything completely for Krishna's enjoyment. So they don't chant their rounds. They don't get up for Mangalarti. They don't distribute books. Well, they do, but not in the spiritual world.
They do.
Yeah, that's what they come to do.
They have letters.
No, but they don't distribute. They don't distribute Prabhupada's books. They don't have sadhana. When they put on their clothes, they're doing everything for Krishna's enjoyment. When a karmi puts on their clothes, he's doing it because he wants to enjoy. He's not even doing it because he wants his wife to enjoy. He's doing it because he wants to enjoy his wife. And if he puts on nice clothes that impresses her, then maybe he can enjoy. And that's why he's doing it. Everyone's motivated by something, and that something is related to Maya. And so, when you're actually Sevamukhi, when you want to do service for Krishna, then what you're doing is motivated by service to Krishna. And so, if someone's trying to meditate on the form of Krishna as service, maybe their guru or someone has given them some instruction that will help them in their service. chanting the holy name is a service, like I said, like reading, we're not just reading books, we're not just chanting syllables. Anyone can chant the syllables. If someone says the alphabet, ultimately they're going to say Krishna's name in a broken way. And that has some efficacy, chanting Krishna's name, but it's not very much. And even if you chant just the syllables of Krishna's name, it also has, Krishna recognizes that. But, it's not going to give you what you really want. What's his name in the 6th canto? Ajamil, he chanted the syllables of the name. He chanted actually even Nama Bas. He chanted crying out for the Lord a little bit, Vishwanath Chakravarti explains. But he didn't really get what he wanted. He got freed from the Yamadutas, but that wouldn't be able to please him for all. When he really got what he wanted was after he did intense bhajan, and was able to go back home, back to God. Then that's what he really wanted. So we want to go back to Krishna, and it's not, Krishna ultimately has to reveal those things. So it starts with just like our service attitude. If we're meditating on the form of Krishna, it's because either Krishna is revealing his form to us, or we're doing that in a service attitude. Like we're not reading the books, we're not like looking at the deities. We're doing service to the books. We're doing service to the service to Krishna. If that attitude is there, then everything is like going nicely, and especially if the spiritual master has approved of it. And so if we have any doubts, if we think that, because sometimes people, they can manufacture their own thing. Let me chant japa this way, let me do this way. And sometimes it may be right, it may be wrong, but if the guru puts his seal of approval on that, then all success is assured. Because Krishna says, Yata deve parabhaktir yata deve tata guru taisyate kaitiya hyarta prakashante mahatmana. That verse was just up on my laptop. I didn't know that from my heart. One who has unflinching devotion for the Supreme Lord and is directed by the spiritual master, and who he has similar unflinching faith, they can see the Supreme Personality of Godhead by revelation. One cannot understand Krishna by mental speculation. So mental speculation means, let me just take this picture of Krishna and I'll realize Krishna. No, if the spiritual master gives you a picture, then it's spiritually surcharged with that connection. Krishna says, the spiritual master did that, and he's told him to do that. Let me come in that picture and reveal myself fully to this person, as full as they can, make them faint with how much I reveal myself to them. So ultimately, if we perfect our devotional service, we're going to faint many times when Krishna is fully revealing himself to us. So we should cry that we can't cry that we're not fainting.
And also another thing, for Sasha, about Sasha's question is that Krishna also likes to be seen, like we're decorating the deities, we're doing all of this, in Tamil, you say, that have you gone to take darshan of the Lord for his pleasure?
Yeah, see, that's the service attitude, yeah.
Have you done service to the Lord by seeing him? When you go to see Krishna, you're doing service by seeing Krishna because Krishna likes that his devotees come, they get his darshan. That's why we don't say, okay, we're going to give our darshan to Krishna, that's because we want Krishna to see it. We're actually going to take Krishna's darshan. Because that's also service. One of the Rupa Goswami speaks about it in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So, we looking at the form of the Lord is also very blissful, and he's all attractive. So it's nice when we're attracted to the all attractive form.
Yeah, we're looking at him, and it's for his pleasure that we're looking at him with pleasure. Yeah. It's this funny. Ultimately, when love is there, it becomes this funny relationship where it's reciprocal. So it's the gopis look at Krishna and they're experiencing a lot of pleasure and they want to see him. They're cursing, Brahma, why did you make my eyelids that have to blink for 1,000th of a second or whatever just to not see him? So Krishna, when he hears that they're in pain not seeing that, then he likes that. He relishes that, and everything is to give Krishna pleasure. So ultimately we need to be on that level.
What's the verse for that?
That's in Krishna book.
And just another point, Krishna is Bhava Janardi.
Yeah.
So that means Krishna is
he eats your bhav.
Bhava of the devotee. So that's why when you were mentioning chanting the holy name, it might be empty. And And so Krishna he takes his devotion, you know, pushpam patram palabdhoyam. Offer me something with love. Because anybody can offer a leaf, a fruit. You know,
Here's the $1, Krishna. I'll put it in the hundi. Don't worry.
But he accepts the loving devotion of the devotee, of the loving feelings. But of course, it has to be authorized. So this is my love, Krishna. This is what I'll do for you.
Yeah.
We find out what Krishna likes.
$99 for me, $1 for Krishna.
Yeah.
That's love.
In one of the
Can talk more about South India. What they do, yeah.
Like in one of the commentaries on this, a similar purport in the Bhagavatam, and Krishna saying the similar thing, and Prabhupada quotes Patram Pushpam Phalam. So then Prabhupada says, one of our says, you must not say, wow, this is a great deal. I'm just going to give Krishna a fruit and a flower and all this, and I'm
Business.
getting all the benefit.
Business, baby.
And I'll have my own, thing going on. There, Jiva Goswami actually says that if one has a lot of wealth and he doesn't engage it in the service of the Supreme Lord, even if he's shining 64 rounds, even if he's like doing intense bhajan, if he's not engaging his wealth in Krishna's service, then he won't be able to go back home, back to Godhead because of that attachment.
Yeah, another comment about like wealth and engaging things in Krishna's service is we have to engage everything in the service of Krishna. Yeah, otherwise it's going to be engaged in the service of Maya. Ramar said there's a fight, either Krishna or Maya. There's no tie, there's no like, there's nothing. It's one wins and the other dies. That's do or die. And so one thing I recently heard was this devotee went out. I'm reading the biography of Prabhupada's sannyas guru and godbrother Keshav Maharaj, which actually that's nice that he was the one that told Prabhupada that Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur was giving, like when Prabhupada sat there and listened like in awe with Sridhar Maharaj, he was telling him that. That's cool. But so one time some of his disciples were going out somewhere for like collection and so they came back and then he asked the one, how much do you guys collect? Oh, 250 rupees. It's like, okay, can you grab the collection? So he gets it from the guy, he gives him. He's like, this is only 225. Where's the rest? And he's like, can you send him to bring the other 25? The guy comes, he's like, Guru Maharaj, why? Like, I need a little bit for like doing, to arrange stuff here and things like that. He's like, just give it. He's like, and he threw it on the ground like all angry, like, the money. And then he picked it. Keshav Maharaj picked it back up and just gave it to him. He's like, if you're just gonna give it to me, why did you make me give it to you? And he's like, well, because the money given by impious people is tinged. We're taking money from all these people in New York that are completely materialistic. It's tinged completely with their jnana and their karma and their disgusting stool bag everything. And we don't want that in our minds. We want the beautiful sham form of Krishna in our minds. So he says, if you have to give it, it has to be purified by Guru, then you give it back. And this is the pramanam for this is in the Chaitanya Charitamrita when Raghunath Das Goswami is getting this money from his devotee parents. He's getting money from his parents. And he says, this is contaminated by their mundane things. I don't want to use it even to make a nice feast, love feast for Lord Chaitanya. So similarly, all the stuff that we get, we have to make sure it's engaged in Krishna's service through Guru. We have to do everything Guru. We don't jump to Krishna. If once we're doing things through Guru, then Guru will help us jump to Krishna very quickly and make spiritual advancement. But otherwise, we just jump to hell. Grantharaj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Gaur Bhakta-vrinda ki jai,
Natabara Gauranga Prabhu ki
jai.
Wow.